In a war between worlds, the Flash races through the Speed Force, witnessing the shattering of one world after another across time and space. Suddenly, he's transported back to where it all started, the accident in his lab that gave him his powers. A mysterious figure catches his attention, swiftly vanishing into thin air. Seeking solace, he finds himself in a diner, where he encounters Iris, a familiar face who seems oblivious to their shared history. She trips up and time slows down as Barry saves his meal. He somehow has prior knowledge of everything that is yet to happen, and with full certainty of their future together, he asks her out. Eerily, a homeless-looking man appears and repeatedly tells Barry to get up. The Flash is abruptly transported to another place in time where he is badly hurt by an android. Before he is finished off, Superman swoops in to save him and takes him to a safe place. The Flash identifies the android as Amazo, though he cannot fathom how he possesses this knowledge. Superman decides to handle him, but he quickly finds that it's easier said than done as Amazo dodges all of his attacks before draining him of his powers. The Flash returns the favor and saves Superman. Flash tries to beat Amazo, but it seems to have become overpowered at this point. With no viable strategies remaining, Green Arrow swoops in, providing a crucial diversion that affords our heroes a narrow escape. Desperate for medical attention, Superman reveals that he knows someone who can assist them. They get to Batman's doorstep, and to their surprise, he knows all of their identities. The Flash continues running through worlds before finally snapping out of it and finding himself on a romantic stroll with Iris, who is planning their wedding. She notices that he is time-tripping when he tells her of their wedding details that are still yet to happen. The mysterious homeless man appears again, and this time he eerily tells Barry that the worlds are ending. All of them. In an instant, he hurls the Flash back into the Speed Force, propelling him toward another temporal destination. Batman arrives at Barry's door accompanied by a young orphaned Robin. Batman intends to place Robin in an orphanage outside Gotham, but Barry proposes a different solution: adoption. Batman resists, emphasizing the inherent dangers of his life and his unwavering commitment to his mission. In a sudden leap through time, the Flash is transported once more. We're back to check on Superman, who is being examined by Batman, who explains that Amazo absorbs energy and stole most of Superman's. It will be a challenge to defeat the android, but he guesses that the attack was subterfuge. For what exactly? We still don't know. The next morning, Superman is fine, but Batman is very angry that his secret identity was revealed. But he probably won't do anything crazy like kill those who know, right? The Flash suggests a secret superhero club that he's seen in one of the alternative universes he visited. Batman responds that it is a terrible idea, but that's exactly what they're going to do. They start their scouting process with a runway model as the whole team approaches her. Next up on the roster is John Jones, not that one. The Martian Manhunter one. Lastly, they try to recruit Green Lantern as he's fighting crime, but he declines their offer as he's already signed to the Green Lantern Corps. Suddenly, the hobo reappears and gets Flash going on the Speed Force to understand what is going on. Flash exits the Speed Force, this time on his feet. He tries to help the people around, but everyone is terrified of him for some odd reason. He figures out that the hobo must have done something and deduces that he's in a different time and place. Flash finds a familiar scenario when he notices another speedster robbing a bank. As he's trying to stop it, the speedster tells him that he killed all other speedsters on the planet, which is why Flash feels faster than ever. Suddenly, evil versions of our superheroes arrive and team up on the Flash, who tries to escape but is unsuccessful. Right as his lights go out, he finds himself running to another temporal destination. The newly formed Justice League gathers for a press conference, unveiling themselves to the world. The Flash is nervous and stuttering on every word as he tries to reveal the name of the team. Out of nowhere, Amazo attacks again and drains Superman of his energy. The Flash immediately gets to work rescuing civilians caught amidst the chaos and wreckage of the battle. A voice tells him to save Green Arrow from a shard heading in his direction. It is Amazo who's helping him in an unexplained sequence of events and further instructs him to save Batman. Amazo attacks the heroes but stresses that his intentions are to help people. He reveals that he is being programmed to act by his new best friend, RoboCop. It turns out that the mastermind behind this upheaval is none other than Lex, concealed within his technologically advanced suit. Lex orders Amazo to eliminate Superman, yet the android protests as it contradicts his programming. Batman swoops in to save Superman and calls for an airstrike to get them out of this pickle, and this time his own team objects to the idea. Flash figures out that Amazo is confused with his reprogramming and suddenly finds himself running to another world. The Flash gazes in awe at the multiverse of worlds with infinite Earths all around. His mesmerization of the view doesn't last long as he gets sucked into another world. He's back in the world of evil heroes as he is being investigated and judged. Flash tries to explain that he's from another world and that something is wrong, but they don't believe him. He asks Wonder Woman to use the lasso of truth on him, but in a twist of events, she reveals that she calls it the lasso of submission as it is now used as a torture device instead of a lie detector. The League says that Luthor theorized the idea of parallel universes, but is now mounted on their wall as a trophy. The League in this universe is the government as well as the criminals. They rule, but they are miserable and bored. Evil Superman is excited by the idea of a new challenge. New lives to enslave and new worlds to conquer. Suddenly, the hobo re-emerges, wielding a formidable power, and rescues the Flash from certain demise. Overwhelming everyone with his mystical prowess, he unveils the impending cataclysm he had foretold. Barry is transported to his wedding, endowed with the knowledge of the events yet to unfold. He is determined to speak to Iris on their wedding day, even though it is bad luck. He tells her that he's been jumping in time. Even though he doesn't know where he is, something bad is about to happen. And it always happens on the day to get married. Flash once again races through time and encounters Anthony Evo, the creator of Amazo. Evo reveals that Lex now controls Amazo, transforming the android into a formidable threat to all superheroes. Evo urgently seeks to reach Amazo in order to contain him. Despite being only 39 years old, Evo suffers from a condition that causes him to age at an accelerated rate. In his quest to find a cure, he dedicated years to developing quantum energy absorption technology. Unfortunately, Lex reprogrammed Amazo and manipulated him into carrying out his bidding. Flash travels back to the hobo as they both watch the world's end. The evil heroes try to stop the buildings from falling apart, but it turns out that they are just protecting their statues and shrines. The familiar hobo reveals that he walks all worlds that are doomed to die as a form of punishment, walking through countless realms for so long that he has forgotten the deeds that led to his condemnation. He cryptically informs Flash that they both share the burden of guilt. Flash goes back to the press conference massacre. Amazo tells Lex that the heroes are all low on energy, but he responds that it doesn't matter. The heroes aren't given any option as Lex has anticipated every move and finally orders Amazo to kill everyone. The hesitant droid responds that the order is inconsistent with his priority function, but Lex overrides it and Amazo begins draining everyone. Evo suddenly arrives and explains to Amazo that Lex has been manipulating him. Evo orders Amazo to release all the energy to him, and in doing so, it kills him. It is unveiled that Lex was the mastermind behind the entire scheme, including the disease that claimed Ella's life. Amazo realizes that Lex is not a friend, but a deceiver. He takes out Lex's suit and Flash stops him from killing Lex. Amazo, regretful by everything he's done that hurt people, gives the heroes their powers back. He admits that he was built on a lie before sadly shutting himself off. After the battle, the heroes admit that there is strength in having different points of view. They're going to give the Justice League a run. Flash then finds himself transported once more. Barry awakens as an elderly man, greeted by an older Iris who prepares breakfast for them. He's taken back to their wedding day as they exchange vows. Then all of a sudden, a familiar bright portal opens up in the air and the mystery hero from the previous movie steps through. She tells Barry that he is needed and reveals herself as Harbinger, a name befitting the role. All of Earth's heroes are gathered in the same exact spot in the universe for the same purpose. We find a much older Robin who meets Batman, and they're both around the same age, but Batman has no idea who Robin is, as in his universe, he has not yet discovered and trained the young protégé. Batman also has a daughter on this alternate Earth. There are two Supermen that meet each other, and there are new heroes left and right. This is like Comic-Con. It turns out that Harbinger is Kara Zor-El, Superman's cousin, but it's yet to be told how she got here. But Hero's chatter is suddenly interrupted by Monitor, a being from an ancient race whose sole purpose is to observe and document every event that happens in the entire multiverse, without interference. However, Monitor has broken this vow to save the world from a grave threat. A colossal antimatter wave is annihilating realities, erasing them from existence. The heroes have been assembled for the purpose of working together to find a solution. Old Barry makes a comeback and tries to don his iconic outfit once again, but fails because of how slow he is. He is transported back to the evil world that is now being consumed by the antimatter wave. The evil heroes intend to fight, but they are mistaken in thinking that they can punch their way out of this problem. Green Lantern constructs a dam to counter the wave, but it shatters, leading to his demise. Wonder Woman accepts her fate. Batman Nuclear destroys himself in the most insane kamikaze attack you'll ever see. The group of superheroes, meanwhile, watch as entire realities are being erased from existence. A character known as the Question asks questions. He says that the entire situation is sus, as the heroes question the information they are being presented with. Monitor explains that the Earth is first to go in every universe, and then everything follows. Everyone is still suspicious of the theory, but Flash confirms it, using the lasso of truth to describe what he saw. Right on cue, Earths are swallowed by the antimatter wave in front of them. Batman describes the situation as a think tank, with each hero chosen for their specific skills. Monitor reveals that time travel is no longer viable under the effects of the antimatter, leaving no room for second chances, do-overs, or contingency plans. For some reason, the Flash still retains the ability to run and traverse different times and worlds. He goes back to the evil world, where only Superman and the Speedster remain. Superman attempts to punch through the wave but perishes in the process. The two Speedsters make a desperate attempt to escape, but the Speedster is impaled by debris. There is not enough speed force for both of them, and the Speedster gets blown into the wave. With only the Flash left, he is as fast as ever and gets up to another time and place. In a strange twist, Barry has Amazon in his basement. He sets off running to power up the android, and although he's still fast, he's not what he once was. It turns out that he's been devising a plan to save the universe all along, and Amazon concludes that Barry's memory lapses are not insanity. The problem is Barry might not be strong enough for long to help solve the issue and power up the mystery device. In the present time, the scientific minds argue among each other about possible solutions to the issue, and Flash tries to ease the situation by bringing a special brew of coffee gathered from different universes. He rambles on about being able to run through dimensions by facing through things, and that he's supercharged right now because of the Speed Force. The team theorizes that a massive vibrational generator on each Earth could withstand the antimatter wave. However, constructing these generators would require a supercharged team of superheroes combining their intellect and strength. Construction commences on the various Earths, and everyone gets to work. The heroes with both brains and brawn collaborate. Meanwhile, the older Flash struggles as he connects cables between the towers due to his age. As the two Supermen chit-chat with each other regarding their relationships, the wave suddenly surfaces. Panic ensues among the team, believing that the wave has arrived earlier than expected. Batman theorizes that someone is behind the wave and adapted their plans upon realizing the hero's attempts to stop it. The Flash finds the hobo, who tells him to run to his wife this time. Barry arrives just in time to save Iris from debris. Refusing to let her die, he grabs Iris and vibrates both of them as they are transported elsewhere. Both Barry and Iris are now old and working on the tower and cables. Iris collapses and comforts Barry by telling him that they had the whole world all to themselves. It becomes apparent that they were the only survivors because Barry vibrated them at such a high frequency that they lived in slow motion. They had been attempting to fix the catastrophe all along, but unfortunately, Iris' time has come. In the original timeline, everything is on the brink of destruction. The older Flash completes the tower with Amazon but must operate it at normal speed. Amazon expresses gratitude to Barry for enabling him to fulfill this primary function, which is prolonging human life. Barry ceases vibrating and returns to the normal world, surprising the heroes who discover that the tower has been completed. The Flash embarks on one final run to power up the towers. Pushing himself to his limits, he successfully activates them just as the antimatter wave approaches. Barry saves the day. It is then revealed that the entire sequence of events was an experiment orchestrated by Monitor, with someone else working behind him. Barry discovers that Amazon was destroyed but takes solace in knowing that Amazon understood he had saved humanity. The new figure reveals himself as the Spectre, the Wrath of God. Barry is in trouble for living in slow motion for an entire lifetime, but because the Speed Force still claims him, he's given time to sort his affairs. The Spectre disappears, and Flash sets off running, finding himself back at the beginning of the accident in his lab. In Warworld, it is revealed that the old man in the water who had approached Batman was in fact Barry himself. Celebrations ensue in space, but suddenly everyone experiences excruciating pain and individuals start vanishing. Something has gone wrong, and the entire universe is being erased. At least now we get a little bit of an understanding in the second part of the story. The movie truly was a mindbender as we try to juggle with all the multiverse time travel that the Flash was doing. It was truly an unnerving story that kept you on the edge of your seat all along as you just wanted to know what happens next and how they survived this ordeal. In the end, we still got left with questions as a completely new element was introduced to this story. Well, this brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me what you think about this film. Did you enjoy the multiversal aspect of the story, or do you think it has become redundant in movies nowadays? What do you think will happen in the next installment once it comes out? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.